Hello everyone, my name is Alina and I'm a master's student at the Department of Global Korean Studies at the Graduate School of Korean Studies. Today's video is dedicated to the most intriguing question for potential applicants for the GSKS. How can I survive the application and interview stages and get accepted at the GSKS? During the application stage, everyone wonders what to write in their personal statement and research plan. And when it comes to the interview, questions that professor might ask are the biggest concern. I will answer this question with my personal experience and impressions from both of the stages. Moreover, I will also include the interviews with two professors from the Department of Global Korean Studies to help you on your journey. The process might differ slightly for other majors, but the overall experience is usually similar, so feel free to watch the video if you want to apply for other GSKS major as well. And now, let's start. First, as per the instruction in the form itself, it states that you need to elaborate on your academic background, outlook on life, strengths and weaknesses, and so on. Structure your essay well so it clearly demonstrates your background and personal motivations in a cohesive way. If you have any background connected to Korean culture, for example, your degree, work experience, extracurricular activities, you should definitely include it in your essay. But the most important factor, as I believe, is explaining your academic motivation. You need to clearly demonstrate your genuine motivation for studying Korean culture and choosing this particular school. In the first section of my own statement, I focused on why I decided to apply to GSKS and how my life has been connected to Korean culture. This served as my introduction, and I went on to elaborate on how my interest in Korea sparked and developed. I started with my academic background, stating my major and research interest, and mentioning my publications and my role as a health student. This is where I explain how I became interested in the Korean language and culture. Then I followed with my work experience, which was also connected to Korean culture. I mentioned my career at the local Korean center, my duties there, the project I participated in, and some of our achievements. Furthermore, I shared my experience participating in the official Korean program, Honorary Reporters, which involved writing journalist-style articles. I mentioned my achievements in this role and my first trip to Korea, which was organized for the program participants. I concluded this section by describing how my motivation to study in Korea grew even stronger after this trip. The second section should demonstrate how you envision your future, how well you can plan it, and how your studies at the GSKS fit into that plan. In my statement, I began with general goals and then included more specific aims. I mentioned the courses I wanted to take. For this, you can use the semester schedules on the website via this link. Other aims concerned my Korean language skills, topic, research plans, part-time work, extracurricular activities like clubs, the Honorary Reporters program, and field trips. I concluded with post-degree plans, sharing my career aspirations and future research. A research plan can be more time-consuming and difficult than a personal statement. It is meant to show your clear understanding of your research topic and your ability to plan your research. However, do not worry too much if you don't have a vast research experience. I did not either. Think about your interests in advance and try looking up articles on your topic. I also recommend checking the areas of interest of our department's professors. However, use this only as a reference. Even if you think that your interest doesn't perfectly align with the professor's listed interests, remember that the expertise is much broader than what is stated online. You can get a better sense of their interests by contacting them directly, checking the courses they teach, and also talking to current students. You are allowed to choose a professor from a different department if you think that their expertise suits you better. However, I recommend contacting them directly first, so you could explain your reasons and mention their permission in an interview stage later. Also remember that you will not necessarily have to write your thesis on the topic you propose in your research plan. You can always refine it or change it later. In my own research plan, the topic I proposed was Korean volunteer programs as an effective method of cultural diplomacy. However, the full title, as you can see, was a bit long and awkward, so I recommend making yours concise. Regarding my motivation, I first expressed my personal experience related to the topic. Second, I explained the practical significance of my research. In the review of previous research section, you should provide a literature review. Try to find articles relevant to your topic and summarize the key ideas. Don't forget to format your citations correctly, for example using Chicago or APA style. Although I don't think my writing in this section was perfect, I could share that I first defined cultural diplomacy and then elaborated on the specific program I wanted to analyze. I also included what I had already done for my research, such as interviewing members of the program. In the research details section, I included my research question, methodology, and the significance of my study. Finally, in the bibliography, include the works you cited. Following a standard citation style will make your document look more professional. Next, I have a very special section where two professors from the Department of Global Korean Studies, Shin Tong-soo and Tae Hee-dong, share their opinions on what makes a strong application.
It is very important to make a good application. Most of all, I want to say, just show your scholarship. Some students, they want to come to AKS for non-academic reasons. But here, AKS is a research-oriented institute, so you better show how much you already studied and prepared for your future thesis. So please read materials related to the topic. Potentially, that will be your thesis.
Okay, from my perspective, the good application shows that you are actually ready to pursue a graduate degree in Korean studies. So the students with background in Korean studies, I think they already have strong advantage because their previous training is directly relevant to our program. But I think those applicants without background in Korean studies, they can still be strong candidates if they can demonstrate what they have prepared themselves to pursue a master's degree in Korean studies.
After your documents are submitted and you receive a positive response from the school, the next stage is the interview. While preparing your answers for the interview, keep in mind that the main point that you would have to cover during the interview are self-introduction and the introduction of your research, namely the reasons of your interest and the significance of your research. You should also know the name of a professor you would like to have as your advisor, because interviewers usually ask this. As I already mentioned, usually it should be a professor from our department. If you choose a professor from a different department, you should clearly state your reasons and ensure that you got that professor's approval. During the interview, it is really important to leave a good impression because it is a stage which influences not only if you get accepted or not, but also if you get a scholarship or not. Furthermore, it often happens that interviews are delayed, so keep in mind that you might have to wait for 30 minutes or even more than 1 hour, as it was in my case. Also, due to this delay, when I entered the meeting, I was asked to answer 3 questions about myself and my research in just 2-3 minutes. So be sure to have concise answers as well. There are usually 2 professors from our department present during the interview. Do not let their mood, your nerves, their appearance affect you in some way. Just act with confidence. They might seem tired or disinterested due to the high volume of interviews they have to conduct that day, but don't take it personally. During my own interview, I was really anxious, and at one point I got really bored because one professor was smiling a lot and laughed, and I thought it was because I said something silly, but after that turned out that it was just their personality and how they usually act, so don't worry about it at all. In any case, interviews vary, so just prepare your answers well and present them with confidence. And next, let's watch what professors Shin Chong-soo and Tae Hee-jong consider important to hear from a candidate during the interview.
Simply, I say just show your love of AKS. What I mean here, when I do interview with the students, they even don't know who were professors in our major. So better study who are professors in our major and what are their research interests. Then you can tell who can be potentially your academic advisor in the future. Or maybe your research interest is a little different from the professors in our major, then you can research the other professors in other majors, then you can say. So it's good to study with the global Korean studies, but also I want to study with some professors in another department. Hopefully they can join us to study my research.
During interview, I'd like to hear about the concrete research plan and research interests. More importantly, I want to understand whether the research plan or research goal is realistic. In other words, I want to know whether the candidate is prepared to pursue the research plan as proposed. For example, if a candidate is interested in pre-modern Korea, then I would expect that the candidate ideally have some training in classical Chinese. And if a candidate is planning to conduct interviews in Korean, then of course the candidate should have a proper level of Korean proficiency. So in general, I think strong candidates, strong applicants can explain what they want to study in our program and how they have prepared to pursue that research goal.
And that's all for today. I hope this video helps you prepare a strong application and successfully pass the interview. Good luck and see you at the GSKS.